All right, that was a tough one. Padres, they lose this one to the D-backs in what was a historic night. Manny Machado gets his 2000th hit. He gets his 1999th as well, and his 2001st, that being a homer late. But that was not enough. There was already damage that was done before, and yeah, just facing Zach Gallen, going in, had a pretty good idea that the Padres were going to have to be better than they were pitching wise, and they were going to have to come through offensively. It was going to be a tough task, and it ended up being too tough tonight. Um, you know, the first guy that I go to, and it's probably recency bias because it just happened, and that's Jackson Merrill. This guy went 0 for 5. His OPS is now down to 735. He's hitting 270. There's going to be the talk about should they move him in the order because he's struggling right now. He continues to expand the zone. But what happened there late in this game was he hits a ball that I thought was going to be gone off the bat. And then it ends up being warning track, and Alec Thomas makes a tremendous catch. I don't know if he was screened by Corbin Carroll, but that was an amazing catch. And if that ball drops, I think Tatis was on first base. Does he end up scoring there? I mean, I would think so. And that was just kind of what it was tonight. That's just kind of how it's gone for Jackson Merrill. Like, he's going through it. Whether he's doing something like that where he actually hits the ball and hits the ball pretty well and he doesn't get rewarded for it, or he just makes, some poor swing decisions up there at the plate. And it's just not going. But, Mike Schultz not someone that gives up on his players, and he's definitely not going to give up on Jackson Merrill. So I don't see this lineup changing around very much. I like having Tatis leading off, and I'm fine with Luis Ariz hitting fourth. And if you're not going to give the opponents a lane, well, then you're going to have a lefty hit second. Now, should that be Jake Cronenworth over Jackson Merrill? Some people may make that case. I do think that Jackson Merrill is overall a better hitter than Jake Cronenworth is. At the moment, probably not, but just overall, I think Schultz still going to want to have Merrill there in that two spot because he knows what Merrill can do. Hasn't been doing it. It's been a while since he's homered. I think he last homered at some point in May. But he can do it. He's shown that he can do it. It's just a matter of him being able to get through what opponents know that he's doing right now, which is expanding the zone. So is he going to have to walk more so that pitchers can stop, baiting him to swing at pitches outside the zone? Maybe that's what's going to have to happen. But yeah, it's tough watching him right now. And it sucks because I love Jackson. We all love Jackson. This guy cares so much about winning, and he loves the city of San Diego. Obviously, we all fell in love with him last year, and he's going through it. I didn't think this was going to happen because this isn't who Jackson Merrill was last year. I just didn't have a reason to believe that this sophomore slump was going to be coming. Even early in the season when he was having a little rough stretch, I was like, yeah, it's a little rough stretch. It's not a big slump. He'll get out of it. And it just hasn't gone the way that I think a lot of Padres fans and Jackson himself has wanted it to. But one of the positives tonight was the return of Darvish. He was not the reason why the Padres lost this game. Padres, again, another night going over with runners in scoring position. They left nine guys on base tonight. D-backs did as well, but they went 3 for 12 with runners in scoring position. Darvish tonight, 3 2/3 innings, 2 earned runs, punched out 5, walked 3. I don't want to get too much into the stat line and the results of the outing. To me, it's more like Darvish is healthy and he's back, and that's what I care about the most. Because could the Padres miss the playoffs by one game? I guess. But what's going to matter the most is him making consistent starts in this rotation. Because when he can, build up to, because he threw less than 70 pitches tonight, 63 pitches. When he builds up and can go longer, that's where we're going to see the real impact of Darvish, where it's not, at least for me, I don't think Darvish is going to be a question mark going into those outings, where there are question marks with other guys in this rotation. So that'll be huge. Although Michael King won't be returning in July, at the earliest, the month of August, according to Kevin Acee. Musgrove's throwing at like 120 feet, I think 70, 80 miles per hour, he said on the broadcast tonight. So that's your quick Musgrove update there. He did throw a couple breaking balls, I think he said, off flat ground. So I don't know if that's the progression is right in line with what he expected, or if it's accelerated, or is he behind a little bit? I don't think he's behind. I think he probably would say that he's irritated with himself if he was behind, or irritated with the process, and that's not what I got. So that's good. And really, any chance of Musgrove returning lies on if the Padres are going to make the playoffs or not, because he's not going to return in the regular season. I'd be shocked if he returned in the regular season. And if he returns in the postseason, it would be in some sort of, I don't know, an opener role, or in a bullpen game. He'd appear out of the bullpen. So yeah, with Darvish, like, as long as the velocity was there and he had strikeouts, I love that the crowd gave him the big U chant as he's walking off the mound. This city, I think, really loves Darvish, really appreciates him, and he's just such an easy guy to root for. Such an easy guy to root for. Yuki Matsui, Wandy Peralta giving up 4 earned runs combined. Those two, like when the Padres would punch back against the D-backs tonight, the problem was runs would just be given right back. Right, like Padres, they were up 1-0. Then the D-backs, they score, what's that, like 4 unanswered. Naylor with the homer in the 5th inning. And we're talking about a game of inches. Like, he missed his spot. Matsui missed his spot by a couple of inches, if you go back and watch that replay, of where Maldonado wanted it and where the pitch ended up. And Naylor crushed that ball. And so that continues the trend of former Padres crushing Padres. Shocker. We just had that with Higgy, and now we have it with Josh Naylor. And when the Phillies come to town, it'll probably be Matt Strom shoving it down our throats. Yeah, like bottom 7, Padres, they get a run on the ground out, make it 4-2, and then right after that, boom, top of the 8th, whack, Corbin Carroll triple in the gap. Terrible pitch. Perdomo single, made it 6-2. And like, it made the Manny solo home run, like, yeah, whatever. Not going to win this game. Obviously, it did get very interesting for half a second there when Merrill made contact with that ball and it went in the gap, and it was like, oh, could that ball go over the wall? And no, it ends up being caught. Amazing catch by Alec Thomas, but that's just the way that this is going. Like I said earlier, it's just the way it's going right now with Jackson Merrill, and you just hope that some of those balls will start falling, and I don't know if it's patience, or just, I don't know, having better swing selection. I was about to say have better vision, but that's more in a joking manner, obviously, because this just isn't the real Jackson Merrill right now. With him expanding the zone like this, that's he wanted to walk more, I think, going into the year, and he is. But what he's been doing, and not even just recently, like this is a pretty good stretch now of expanding the zone. It's frustrating. I love watching Jackson Merrill, but right now it's actually frustrating to watch him at the plate. And he's probably really frustrated with himself. So, yep, that's what I got here. Padres lose game 1. Gallen against Darvish. Gallen, ERA is not great, but we know the talent that Zach Gallen is, and he was dicing up those Padres batters tonight. And it's not going to get too easier, you wouldn't think. D-backs are pitching all their best guys in this series. They've got Eduardo Rodriguez, I think, on Thursday. They got Fott on Wednesday. Tomorrow, they got Merrill Kelly, I think. So, we'll see. We got Pivetta, Cease, and Vasquez, I think, the rest of this series. So, good for Manny, by the way, getting to hit number 2000 and 2001 with the homer. we know that he's going to be a future Hall of Famer, and it was cool that he did it at home. Um, would you like it to be a clean hit? Sure, but I mean like just clean right through the 5-5 hole instead of the shortstop, you know, diving and touching it. But you'll take every hit. It's the big leagues. It's hard. Um, and yeah, just Manny's going to be wearing a Padre hat in Cooperstown. Like that's going to be a pretty cool moment. You know, a long ways away, obviously. Still, what, like 14 years away or whatever that would be? Because you got to be off what 5 years, and he'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer, I would think. So just getting to enjoy this, obviously, as we have Manny in his prime, and hopefully the Padres can capitalize on that, and obviously get to a World Series, go win that World Series with Manny in his prime.